Hello, welcome. Let's get on our mat today. We're going to just do a kind of a more basic Mat Pilates series. So coming on over, get started by turning sideways or turning onto your mat, facing one end, short end of your mat. Placing the hands right behind your thighs. And we'll just start with a breath in, getting lifted and tall. Pull those shoulders back. And then exhale. I want you to draw in and up and imagine you're rounding out like a cat. Pressing back. Inhale, lifting up tall. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale, getting lifted and tall. Lower those shoulders down. Keep the shoulders down as you press back. And then 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Really connecting your breath, the contraction of your abdominals, pushing the breath out. And then come back up. Maybe scoot your hips up just a little bit further and take a deep breath in. Start to round out again. And now this time releasing as you slowly lower yourself back. So all the way back onto the mat. Shoulders are relaxed back and down again. Now take a deep breath and sweep the arms over the head. And notice, take one hand on the rib cage before you get too comfortable here. So just take one hand right across the ribs. The other arm is over the head. And without doing anything else, notice the lightness behind the back. So if we don't contract or focus or do anything else, we're going to feel a little light arch behind the back. So I want you to close the arch by pushing down with the hand that's on top. So push down on your ribs just a little bit and then press that space right below your hand into the mat. Okay, now your low back is going to lightly press, but you're not trying to force it down. So now everything's starting to connect through front body, keeping your ribs pushed down. Other arm reaches overhead, deep breath in. As you exhale, sweep the arms now and start to float the shoulders, reaching toward the end of the mat. So inhale, coming back down. Keep the ribs drawn in. Exhale, and lift and reach. You may start to lift just a little bit more each time. You want to keep those feet fairly heavy, so pressing your feet into the mat. Try not to push so much that you're lifting your hips, but just push your feet down and then float. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, rolling back nice and slow. Make sure you've got a lot of control here. Arms never have to go past the level of your forehead, so don't worry about taking them all the way back behind you onto the floor. Just reach, inhale, and exhale, lift. Let's take 2 more here. If you feel strain in your neck, just start to check in with your abdominal space. Notice if you're really focused on contracting and lifting and holding yourself here and keeping your head back. So shake it around even a little bit so that you're not trying to jut your chin forward and create a little tension in the back of that neck. So pausing when you get to the top, let's take the right leg up and bring it down. So if you feel here like you need support behind your head, go ahead and take your fingertips and we'll just rest them behind the head. Inhale, exhale, alternating legs, lifting and lowering. Make sure here, if you're holding your head, you've got your fingertips just on the base of the skull and your head is heavy, resting in the fingertips, focusing on making sure the abs stay contracted. Inhale, exhale. Let's go 4 more. Up, lower down, shoulders relax back. And last 2. And back to 1. All right, good. Release it down. Inhale. Reach the arms again. Exhale, sweep up and float the legs. Okay, bring it back down. Inhale. Notice if there's an arch behind your back. Try to keep that arch closed by pressing the ribs down. Lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale, blow it out. 4 more, you've got it. And 3. Here we go, last 2. And one more. Inhale. Exhale, lift and pause. Now, starting with your 100, starting to pump the arms, inhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep breath. Your head may be lifted or lowering onto the mat or maybe onto a prop, a blanket or something behind you. You can keep your legs here, tabletop with the shins, or start to straighten the legs out, bring the inner thighs together, turn the toes out. Finding deep breath, still trying to pull in rather than pushing out through the abdominals. And last 3, see if you can lower your legs a little if they're straight. 2, and last 1. And release. Very good. Draw the knees in toward the chest. Rest your head down. Turn the head side to side. So with the feet on the floor, sweep the arms again, reaching overhead. Walk your feet down the mat, away from your hips. Sweep up, and then here, take hold behind the legs, or you can rock and roll yourself up to seated. So rolling up slowly, or rock and roll your way all the way up to seated. And then pausing at the top. So we'll just lean back a little bit, finding a little balance point. Pull the knees in and hang out right there for a moment. Shoulders are relaxed back, elbows slightly out to the sides. And I just want you to take a tiny little rock. Just feel like you were almost going to roll back and then come back up and tip your toes to the floor. So round it out, head toward the chest, or your head forward just slightly. Find that little rounding, pull the knees in, pull up as high as you can with your knees, round out, and then tap the toes back to the floor and sit up tall. Okay. Again, round it out, lift up, and then bring it back down. Let's try 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lift, back up, inhale, and then exhale. Coming back to center. Take a deep breath, lift tall, take the legs out wider. We're going to scoot the hips back just a little bit. So put a little bend in your knees, hands right beside your head for a moment. Push out through your feet. You can lift your toes back towards your head. Inhale and just rotate one direction and then back to center. Inhale, exhale, rotate to the opposite side. Now notice if your legs are moving with you. I want you to imagine you're pushing your feet into a wall and they can't move, right? So that you're not shifting forward and back like you're stepping on pedals. Okay, so rotate, keep your hips steady, and then over to the other side. We're rotating from the waist, not just your elbows. Okay, last 4. Think about your sternum turning. If you had a light at the center of your chest, the beam is going to turn with you. Okay, 1 more each side. And then back to center and pause. Bring the feet back to center on the mat. Hands right behind the legs. Scoot you up just a little bit. Let's go ahead and scoot up a little. Inhale, get really lifted. Exhale, roll it back almost all the way back just to where your arms are straight. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, rolling back. So we're just doing a little deeper version of where we started. Lifting and then exhale, just about straight arms. Now if you can release your hands here, go ahead and just reach forward and exhale, pull back. Inhale, lifting up. You could always stay with that shorter version, shorter variation, back to where we first started, more like a basic seated cat-cow. You can go back there if you need to. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last 1. Maybe you find a little shaking happening there, and that's fine. It's great. It's perfect, actually. It means we're really working to maintain that control. So I want you to roll the rest of the way back, nice and slow. Bring it all the way down. So walking your feet back in just a bit. Separate the feet at least hip distance, maybe even shoulder distance. Taking your right leg up. We'll rotate that knee slightly out. a little cross over the center line and then circle it around. Just single leg circle here. Inhale, cross. Hips are staying steady. So again, I want you to notice, where's the arch? Are you lifting in your back? And pull the rib cage down. Connect the ribs and hips like there's a little band holding them together here. So without any movement, side to side, or without any rocking of your pelvis. Okay, last two. And one. We'll just reverse that circle. So bring it down, around, up towards your face, and then back down. Go down, and then back up. And keeping the knee rotated out. The other leg is steady, so it's not wobbling to the side with you. Okay, keep it nice and steady. This is why you might like it to be a little wider. Step it out to the left or out to the side. Okay, so let's go two more. Shoulders relax, ribs down, and rest. Bring that foot down, step it down, slightly over to the right side, lifting your left leg. Rotate the knee out, cross it over the center. Exhale, bring it up. Okay. Connection here between ribs and hips. Everything is steady. Transverse abdominals working to keep that core engaged and steady and stable. Okay. Deep breath. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's go. Last one. And we're going to reverse it here. Okay. Take it down, around. I want you to cross that midline just a little and not sweep it out to the side too far. Okay. So not past your shoulder. And let's sweep it just past that midline, like you're drawing a circle around, kind of like around your belly button in a way. Okay, so last three, two, and one. Very nice. You're going to drop that foot down. And we're going to bring both knees in toward the chest. Give them a hug first. Rock it around. Take another breath. As you bring your right knee in toward the chest, left leg reaches up toward the sky. So we'll start here by dropping that left leg down with a pointed toe. Just reach out, tip your pelvis just slightly, and then bring it back up. Okay. Same thing, inhale, bring it down. And then exhale, bring it back up. Now let's add on just a little. So we're going to take it down, bend the knee, bring it up, and reach. Inhale, take it down, hover, bring it up, and reach. One more, inhale. Exhale, bring it up, and reach. Now reverse that by flexing the foot. We're going to take the knee in, take it out, push, and lift. Knee bends, push out, and lift. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Push. Lift. Good. One more. And push. And lift. And good job. All right. Switch sides. So now left knee will come in. Right leg will go up. You can hold on to the knee here. Just hug it in. Find that little slight tip of your pelvis. Keep the shoulders pulled back. Inhale. Lower the leg down. Nice and long, and bring it back up. So the lower your leg goes, the more you need to contract through the core to keep that stabilized sensation through your pelvis. So we don't want the pelvis rocking forward and back. Okay, so we're going to keep it nice and level. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, bring it up. Now bring it down. Inhale, bend the knee, up, and reach. Okay, inhale. Exhale. Two more. Bring it down. Bring it in. Reach. Last one. Get long through that leg. And up. Now flex the foot. Bring the knee in. Just bring the heel down. Kick it out. And bring it back up. Okay. Knee in. Kick. And back up. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. And bring it back up. Very good. All right. Drop the feet to the floor. And arms down by your sides. So just a little lift of your pelvis, lifting up bridge, inhale. Exhale, slowly bring it down, lowering down from your shoulders to your mid-spine, low back, and then your sacrum and glutes. Inhale, reverse that, just lifting glutes, sacrum, low back, mid-spine, and up towards your shoulder blades, and then lower it back down. Your toes are spread wide. You've got energy pressing all the way from your big toe to your little toe, but I really want you to emphasize that connection between your big toe and the inner leg line. Okay, so really pressing down inside the foot. Let's go 3 more lifts. Inhale, gently lift up. Exhale down. 2. Up. And exhale, bring it down. 1 more time. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lower down. And then just release here. A little knee sway, side to side. When you come back to center, go ahead, take those arms back over the head. Walk your feet out long down the mat. Pull the rib cage down. Deep breath. Exhale, sweep the arms. Roll yourself up again. Holding on behind the legs or just reaching forward or rock and roll your way up. And we're back to seated. So your feet are going to go out. Your knees can be softly bent or quite a bit bent depending on how tight the back of your legs are again. So we'll get the arms out. Inhale. Exhale, rotating to one side and then reaching toward that pinky toe. Just reach it over. Come back to center. Rotate first. Exhale, reach. Inhale, pushing out through the soles of your feet, toes pulling back. I want you to reach as far forward as you can with no discomfort or pain of your back. We don't want that. Okay, just looking maybe at your pinky toe or just to the side of the room is fine. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, reach. And taking last 2 here. And last one. All the way back up. And then reach the hands forward. Inhale. Exhale like you're diving forward. And then just kind of slide your fingers forward down the mat. Come back up. Inhale. So try not to just hinge from your hips. I want you to pull the belly in and up like someone's trying to hold you and you're trying to lift away from them and reach across. Come back up. And we're just doing that spinal stretch. So really working towards stretching through the spine, not just hip flexion. So we shouldn't really even feel this in our hamstrings ideally if those knees are bent. And we come back up. All right, very nice. So let's switch it over to your belly now. So you can turn any direction that feels right for you. And we'll just flip over. And then from here, hands go right underneath the shoulders. I want you to first engage through the lower body by picking your legs up one at a time, a couple times even, and then just make sure you got some length through the front body. Push the pubic bone down, bring the inner thighs close together, and try to push the pubic bone down. If that doesn't feel quite right for you, separate your feet a little. Okay, so hands come underneath the shoulders, fingertips about in line with the top of your shoulders. Squeeze the elbows in. So not quite a big cobra here, but we are gonna look like we're going into cobra. So I want you to really rock your shoulders back, elbows in, engage through the pubic bone, top of your feet heavy, and we just press up slightly and bring it back down. So neck stays long. Inhale, lift, and exhale down. If you're finding discomfort of your back here, it may be helpful to take the legs out wider. That's perfectly okay. And then if you can, bring your knees or your legs in so that you can kind of press toward that inner leg line when you lift. Now it's going to create less space for the sacrum, so just be mindful. Okay, inhale. And exhale. Let's do 2 more little lifts. Inhale, Lifting, shoulders relax back, lower body heavy. Try to separate all the way out from big toe to little toe again through your feet, even though it's the top of your feet. One more. And bring it down. All right, relax here for a moment. Just bring your hands underneath your head. The shoulders pull back. Take the legs out a little wider. And again, you're going to reach out through that big toe side of your foot. So inner leg line all the way down. So from inner thighs down to those big toes. Inhale. With your exhale, lifting both legs up and lower them down. So here, I want you to still feel like you're engaging the front body. So feel like you're kind of lifting your rib cage away from the floor in this position. And then lift. Notice how that may change what you feel in your back. Right, so right here where your floating ribs are, I want you to feel like you could pull them away rather than pushing them down. That's going to dip your back down even more. Okay, so really engage there. Try to pull those ribs up just slightly and keep your head down. Lower the legs. Okay, 4 more. Relax your shoulders. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. And again, inhale. So again, once those legs are lifting, think about where are the ribs? Are they pushing strongly into the floor, or are they trying to pull in toward the body just a bit more, in toward your spine? And we want to pull them in just a little bit more so that we're still engaging. All right, last one. And lower it down. All right. Bring hands underneath the shoulders. Start to gently press yourself up. Take just a moment coming into a little tabletop position. Round it out. Start to tuck the tail just a bit. Shift your hips back. And reach it forward. Okay, as you come up, just flip it back over into seated. And come back toward the top of the mat. And take a little pause again, having a float with the feet. Now, seeing if you can hold on here. It can be behind the knees. If you have a blanket, you need cushion under your tail, go ahead and take that here. Okay, so finding a place where you can balance. I'm for now just going to hold on behind the knees. Okay, so pulling the knees in nice and close. And then just as much as you can, kicking one leg out and then the other. So I'll turn just a bit. Kicking one leg and then the other. Okay, keeping your shoulders pulled back. Lifted through the chest. Deep breath. So you're leaning back just enough that you're really feeling that core having to engage to help hold you here. Inhale. Exhale. Reach. Good. Last 3, 2, and 1. Take a pause. So from here, you're just going to reach forward, holding a little boat pose. Lift the feet up, lift the chest. Lean back just a little bit, and then place the feet on the floor and start to lean back a little bit more. Keep the chest lifted and come back up. Sit tall, lean back. Come back up, inhale. Exhale back. 2 more. Inhale. And bring it back as flat back as you can. So this is not a cat stretch. This is you just maintaining straight line from shoulders to hips. Hold it here. Bring yourself back. If you can support yourself on your forearms, go ahead and do so. If not, recline all the way back onto your mat. Okay, so just find, again, what works for you. We're going to lift the legs up. Inhale. Just let your heels kind of become slack down towards your glutes. And we're just rotate the knees over to the left. Now give it a little kick. Bring it in. Back to center. If, again, you feel like you need cushion under your hips, go ahead and take a blanket. Just run it across the mat there. Okay. Kick. Inhale. So keeping your shoulders steady. We shouldn't have a lot of weight in our arms. So almost as though you were trying to float up and not even have your arms support you. Your core is very engaged. Inhale. Rotate. Exhale. You could do this reclining on your mat. Don't forget. Okay, last one each side. All the way back to center. There we go. Now put the feet on the floor and roll yourself the rest of the way down. We lift the knees up, and now little circles here, over to the left, and then circle it around, bring it back up. See if you can flow your hips a little, and then to the right. So just a little variation of corkscrew. Now if you're feeling fairly comfortable with this one, you can straighten your legs, rotate them in a circle, bring it up, and then reverse. Inhale, does not have to be big circles. Lift, reverse curl, and bring it around. It's okay if that reverse curl does not actually float off the mat. It's just the intention and you trying to engage those muscles. Okay, lift, and again, let's do one more rotation. Up, bring it down. Last one, and up. Pause, bring the knees back in. So right leg coming in, left leg straightens out, lower it down. It could be just a few inches or almost parallel to the floor. Head down or float those shoulders up, and we inhale, exhale, single leg stretch. Inhale, exhale. Let the shoulders become heavy. Again, you could always have your head down on the mat, or you can have your head rested on a slight lifted prop like a blanket right behind you. Okay, so continue here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw both knees in, rest your head down, reach arms and legs up, overhead and down, and then circle it back in. Double leg stretch. Inhale, reach, lower down, and draw it in with your abs, not your hands. Okay, reach overhead and reach down, sweep. So try to make that movement start to become a little more fluid each time. Going as low as you can comfortably go without allowing your back to arch. Okay, keeping your ribs down. Exhale, pull it in. Last 3, inhale, down, exhale, 2, and 1. Very good. All right. Rock it a little side to side and then roll yourself to one side. Knees together. Just kind of readjust yourself on the mat. Okay, knees stacked and together. Elbow on the floor. You could always elevate this arm if you need to come up to a higher prop like an ottoman or something to give yourself a little bit more leverage to get up. Okay, otherwise we're right here. I want you to lift the underside of your body. Okay, so lift that rib cage nice and long through the waist. Inhale, lift the hips, and then exhale, bring it down. So again, if you were already elevated with this elbow, you have a little more leverage to lift those hips up. Okay, so just be mindful. Turn your hand to any direction that starts to make your shoulder feel like it's in the right spot. Okay. Everybody's going to be a little different. Lift up and bring it down. Okay, good. Last 3, lift. 2. And last 1. Now you can keep your hips up. This is going to be up to you. Hips stay up or drop your hip back to the floor and then take your top leg, reach it out. Okay, bring it forward, take it back. Inhale, give it a pulse. 1, 2, exhale back. That bottom hip can be on the floor. Bring it back. If it's bothering your neck, I want you just to look down at your bottom hand. Last 2, doing great. And 1. Bring it all the way down and switch sides. So don't forget, make it work for you. Bothers your shoulder, come on down, do it flat on the mat. Okay, whatever you need to do. And then we'll just keep working from where you are today. All right, so starting with that little hip lift, I want you to lift your rib cage first and then press into your forearm, not just your elbow. Pull that shoulder back and lift and lower. You can sweep the arm up Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Once again, don't forget, if it bothers your neck, look down. Try to press into your forearm. Your palm can be flat. Okay, so you got a little more energy going towards your fingers as well. That shoulder is pulling down a little bit, just kind of setting it into the girdle of the shoulder. Last two. Last one. This one you can keep your hips lifted or you can drop it back down. You could also come off of this bottom arm. Okay, take the leg straight. Let's bring it forward and back. I want you to give it a little pump forward. 1, 2. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath. Good. And 3, 2. Last one. Awesome job. All right, bring it back down. This is it. We're just going to come back over onto the belly. So I want you to flop it back over. Take a little moment here. Make sure first that you can just kind of turn your head side to side. You can stay on your elbows for a moment. Drop your head forward. Shift it a little bit. Make sure you're feeling okay in your neck. We're going to bring it back down. Now, your chin stays down, your nose stays down, nice and long in the back of the neck. Reach the hands back. If you're not able to reach your hands all the way back, take a strap or a towel and just hold it back here behind you. Okay, otherwise, we'll just interlace the fingers. The palms are facing in like you're going to clap your hands. We're just going to interlace the fingers, and then almost as though you're going to pull your hands apart, but the fingers are interlaced, or you're holding a towel behind you. Okay, keep the tops of your legs heavy, tops of your feet heavy. Reach out through that inner leg line. Inhale, and then lift. Reach, and bring it down. So once again, we're not trying to overarch in the back. Just lift and lower. Inhale. Lift. Bring it down. 3 more. Tops of feet heavy. Lower body engaged. Quads engaged. Glutes engaged. Push your pubic bone to the mat. 2 more. Chin is down. Last one. You've got it. Up. And bring it down. Very good. Go ahead and take the hands forward. Now, we're just on a little fingertip like a claw in front of you. Now, pull back with your arms enough that your chest will lift slightly up. Chin is down again. And we lift the left leg, drop it down. So this doesn't have to be big. Maybe you're much lower to the ground. This is fine. Right leg up. Left leg. And right leg. Now, floating opposite arm and leg. Left leg, right arm. Bring it down. Switch. Once again, if you find that that does not work for your body today, drop yourself all the way to the floor. Okay, so work within the range of motion that's appropriate for you today. We're kind of teetering somewhere between our beginner and advanced beginner moves here today. Reach, bring it down. Let's go. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Rest here. Bend your knees. Sweep your feet side to side. And we'll come up. Press the hands to the floor. Lift up. And then shift your hips back into a big child's pose. To stretch out the back. And then when you're ready, come to seated. And it's our favorite move. It's the mermaid. So have a seat. You'll bring your left leg forward, right leg back. You can stay in this zigzag position or just kind of stack one leg on top of the other. Whatever, again, that feels better for you. Take the left arm, reach it up. Lean into it as much as you can. If that bothers your knee, adjust that bottom leg. Come back up, sweep over, and reach. Give it a little twist. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, reach. And again, to the other side, and give it a little twist and reach. All the way up, we're going to sweep the feet forward and around to the other side. Inhale, exhale, lean into it. And inhale, come to center. Exhale, reach over, get long and reach it out, twist. Inhale, come up. Exhale, reach. And last time, reaching over and twist. Come all the way up. Did an excellent job today. Let's just find some variation of seated pose that works for you. Taking a little twist from one side and then to the other. And back to center. A big sweep up. As your hands meet at center, come down to the heart. Give yourself a bow to your Rockstar Pilates Center. And thanks for showing up and being here for you today so you can continue to show up for others.